Hey y'all, it's Renegayde, and it's time to mourn for the end of Big Brother 26 officially, and spend reality on the worst Double Eviction Night episode ever in the history of reality TV. First, before we bring to the end of society with an AI apocalypse, let's introduce our co-casters. First off, he may have hacked into the mainframe and killed Janky. It's Doug. Doug, this week was the first double eviction week that you got to experience ever. Did it live up to everything that you thought it would?
Yeah, no, it did not.
it
I'm mad that they say, oh, for the tiebreakers that, oh, you can't go over, but like someone could just put one, someone goes over by one, and the person who put one can win. Like that's really stupid.
Welcome to Price is Right, Doug.
I thought this was Big Brother.
Nope, it's Price is Right. That's what you get for the tiebreakers, unfortunately. Yeah, this was a rough one. But before we get into it here, we had to bring in our other co-caster here, y'all. And joining us tonight is Zingbot's joke writer. It's QuackrrJack. Jack, I'm still in mourning at the moment. Did the season officially end for you as well with these double eviction results?
No, girl, it didn't end for me because guess what? I still have my duo of Sari and Mama Fee in the house. That's Rubina and Chemo. I'm rooting for.
If only it was Suri and Mama Fee in the house at this
They
point, I
are
would
the Sari
love
and Mama
it.
Fee. They are the.
They're
They
like
said it themselves. They said
they're
it
the
themselves.
Suri and Mama Fee at home. Like we have Suri and Mama Fee at home, and they're like, okay, we'll go watch Chemo and
Look,
Rubina, I
I
guess.
And
like both of them still. Like they have great personalities and stuff, and I find them enjoyable. But are they the best Big Brother players? Definitely not. But like, you know what's really fun about them? All honesty, as soon as Leah got evicted, they were like, "Let's go check her candy storage, and we'll go split up the candy between us." Because I was like, "That's the realest shit I've ever heard of my life." Like,
and then
let's go get that candy.
and then we got MJ as Bowie Jane.
Oops.
No, actually, MJ's not Bowie
Yeah,
Jane.
Cam's
It's
Bowie Jane.
Cam's Bowie Jane.
That's what
MJ and
Kimo
Mackenzie
Rubina
are
said.
MJ and Mackenzie are Jag and Matt apparently.
Yeah,
So,
they are right now.
which sadly means that I don't even remember who went sixth and seventh in Big Brother 25. That's how long ago it's been since I've blocked that.
Girl, America went for it.
America and Blue.
Yeah, I think it was Blue.
Yeah, American Blue. Oh wow, wow,
Yeah,
sad.
and America was sixth place, so
Oof. Yeah, no, no, we can't say that because tonight, sadly, we mourn the end of Big Brother. I don't care what you say here because
this is the end of
sadly,
Big Brother.
the Lorraines are gone and we no longer have anybody to root for. Big Brother is over. It's over, Jack. It's over. And you know what? Let's just get right into it because you know what? It's double eviction week. We have so much to talk about. We actually really don't. There's really only kind of, I would say, kind
Bro.
of two really big points of talking here, and that would be the first one would be basically the decision of our head of household. And as we left last week, we had the stacking competition head of household here, and it turns out Mackenzie won. And we're like, yay! No, I don't think the only person that was happy to see Mackenzie win was Painless. But Mackenzie won, and she decided immediately that she wanted to ruin the season by targeting Angela. So she puts up Angela and Chemo for eviction. Um, I still don't understand the decision for her to target Angela. I don't understand the decision. Well, I mean, I guess I understand the decision for her to kind of go after Chemo, but I just feel like it was just a really kind of dumb move here that doesn't really do anything here for her. But what makes things even worse for Mackenzie here is that after she wins the veto, she allows Chelsea and Cam, but mostly Chelsea, to
Just
convince
Chelsea.
her, mostly
Cam
Chelsea.
wasn't in anything.
Cam
Cam
did a
Cam was
little
self
bit. Cam did a
Cam
little
was
bit,
playing
but
the
it was
alpha
mostly
game.
Chelsea.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, basically at the end of the day, it was Chelsea. Chelsea basically pushes for her rival Leah to get thrown up on the block, who MJ, first off, shouldn't have even put up Angela because Angela was not coming for her. And then she also throws up, now at this point, is considering targeting Leah, who also is not coming for her. So what does Mackenzie do? She vetoes off Chemo, who might actually have come for Mackenzie, and throws up Leah. Why is everybody's strategy this season to nominate their allies? And why did Mackenzie just literally make the biggest offensively just dumb move of the season? This for me is the dumbest move of the season. And we've had some dumb
I can't agree with you more.
dumb moves. No, this is the worst. This is by far the worst because she did it right in the middle of the jury phase. She's had 10 weeks of knowledge of what is happening in this game, and she literally has just handed the game to Chelsea. This is dumb. This is so dumb. Jack, you love to defend dumb moves. Feel free to defend this one, please.
Oh, I'm not defending it that it's a dumb move. I just don't think it's the worst move in the game. I don't think it's possible to outdo the worst move in the game. Let's just be honest. Like,
What was the worst move in the game? Because there's been some bad ones, but what do you think is the worst? 'Cause this to me is the most offensively done.
Quinn's HOH is both of them, but specifically, I would say, well, outside of telling people your hidden power that no one needed to know about, um, constantly putting up your your allies because you don't want to make anyone mad in the house or create waves, which everyone has been doing so far, which is kind of why Mackenzie is still. I don't know how we're at top 7 and people decide that I don't want to make waves or make like too big of a move that's going to put me in a bad position for next week. Like, what? What do you mean, girl? Like, there's only so many people. We're almost at the stage where, like, if you don't win HOH, you're just going to be on the block. Like we don't have that much left in the game, so I don't understand that decision, but I still think Quinn has the worst move of the season at this point, and I don't think it's possible to get a worse move.
Doug, I need to hear your opinion here. What are your thoughts on Mackenzie's move?
Personally, I was ecstatic to see that Leah went up because Karma is a bitch. This is what you get for going back on your plan for not putting up Chelsea and T Core because you knew that they were the top two. Instead, you get rid of the person that literally wasn't coming, who hasn't come for you the past 2 weeks, and literally kept the person who had been, who took out your two closest allies back to back, safe, and now you're put up on the block. That is called karma. I was so happy for it. It was a dumb move by MJ, but I was so happy for this.
I have to ask one question though, because I completely bypassed it. I meant to talk about it, but I was just so enraged by the stupidity of Mackenzie's move here that I completely forgot. Y'all, Janky died this week. Oh my
Well, that was
god.
the most upsetting part of the episode for me.
But so I'm like, we need to talk about
Literally,
this for a moment. We need to talk about it.
that's the most upsetting thing for me.
Ugh.
Like that was my friend. That
Could
was
they have
my
not
person.
killed Zingbot instead? Because I'm kind of over Zingbot. None of Zingbot's reads are funny anymore. Like they need to get either a new joke writer or it's something with Zingbot. Because Zingbot is just he's not bringing
They
it.
need to they need to hire a drag queen to read the people.
Selena Stidius for the reading
Selena
challenge.
Studies in the
So,
Ainsley outfit as well.
Yes, with the reading glasses.
Right.
Done. Deep fake Selena Stidius into this house now.
I was gonna say, no, you need a mistress to write the reads.
Oh my god, please. Please. Mistress as Lenore. We need her in right now. I'll be
They will
Riker, I
never
promise.
be a family friendly show again if that happens.
Ugh, that's what Big Brother needs. Remember when we had Big Brother After Dark? Like, no, those days are never
Hmm.
gonna happen anymore. Never again. We're now in the days of Nickelodeon slime and Yeah, yeah. It's fun though. We're still fun. We're still having fun, y'all.
I hope it's
Um,
not in the days of Nickelodeon.
yeah,
Let's go there. Yeah.
yeah, that's for a different podcast there, Doug. I was gonna say though, but that's a nice transition though, because things did get a little dark here because after Genki died, again, Ansley turned evil and decided to declare war on all of humanity and decided to make it a double eviction week. So Leah was very quickly evicted in the very first like 10 minutes of the episode here. Was there any question Leah was gone? I have a feeling here there wasn't, just because the thing here with Big Brother, especially I feel like in the late game, things do come a little predictable, especially when people are pulling back doors. So I just felt like Leah was just doomed. It felt like Leah felt like she was doomed. It the writing was on the wall here. Leah was gone. Did anybody question Leah's eviction here? Or does anybody have any final words for Miss Leah here?
No, I wasn't. I did not question it at all. I was like so happy when her name got put up there because I knew from that moment that her ass was gone right after she sent T-Core home.
I think there was a
Best.
possibility. Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say best moment of the season.
Doug. I wouldn't go that far, but like I understand why you feel that way. I personally thought that there was a slight chance of her her coming back from the grave, but I think what we've seen is that this cast is, and it's all season long. There are very few people who weren't afraid to make a big move in this house, and I mean very few people. And some of the unfortunate part is that some of the people who weren't even afraid to make a big move just they didn't fully commit. Like with Quinn, he was willing to make big moves, but then he like didn't want to fully commit to putting people up there that he didn't really care about because he wanted to have an alliance with everyone. Whereas like we saw Angela in her HOH reign, she literally makes a huge big move. She backdoors Matt because Matt is like just an asshole, and then we see Tucker makes a huge move in his week as HOH. I feel like everyone else has been playing it safe, playing it for the house, doesn't want to do anything differently. That's why we've had like Rabina on the block 5 times, Kima on the block like 6 or 7 times, Angela on the block like 7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone plays so safe, but also another thing was, how did Leah think that she was gonna go to Rubina and Chemo and be like, "Yo, we good?" After she got rid of their biggest ally? I was like, "Now, Leah, not only do people want to play a safe game all throughout the season, they also are definitely very emotional players as opposed to like logical ones. It feels like." So I was like, I just don't see that working. But actually, something really funny is Rubina kind of is the reason, Rubina and Chemo is actually the reason Leah gets backdoored this week, which is really funny because they're the ones that start talking about the conversation that Leah had with them and tell Chelsea everything. And even though Leah catches what they're doing and like hears about it while they're like talking in front of her, it doesn't change anything because this house is afraid of confrontation. No one wants to know who said what. No one calls a house meeting. No one gets it messy at all because people are so worried about their feelings. It's $750,000 on the line. Fuck your feelings. We can be friends or not outside this game, but 750K, I'm doing everything to stay. And I just didn't feel like everyone was giving it their all. That being said, it's a terrible move by Leah or by MJ, and she may live to regret it. She may not, depending on what happens now. But we can go ahead and get into the into the double eviction since the Leah thing was like a chop.
Yeah, I mean, Leo, I want to say this. I love Leah as like a character in the house, a character on the show. But my biggest fear for her was strategically that she just was not going to make the correct moves here. And she came alive at the right time, but it's like she only like came on at like 50% power. Unfortunately, because like she was in a rough position, yes, but there were just so many better decisions she could have made that could have led to a different outcome for her this week. And unfortunately, she recognized it far too late that like you said, she was just unfortunately too scared to make the move that she knew that she needed to make, which I don't know. I feel like from my perspective, if I'm going on the show and I'm like in a position where I know that I'm doomed, like my goal, like if anything here is I'm gonna just blow shit up. If anything, I'm gonna go out with a blaze of glory. I'm just gonna take out biggest people and throw targets on them because I'm already a target, so nothing's gonna change for me. So, you know, it's unfortunate that things ended for Leah this way because I was still rooting for her, but let's be real. Mother Angela lasted another eviction, and that's all we were hoping for. So, heading into this double eviction, that's all I really wanted. That's all I was hoping for was that, when the night was over, when all was said and done here, that Miss Angela was going to still be in the house. 'Cause she had such a run at this point. But, let's not talk about the fact that there was a tiebreaker in this head of household question answer competition about the Ansley World Destruction speech here. And I was actually, when I was watching this, I didn't even realize Angela was tied. I thought Chelsea had very clearly won, but I didn't realize she missed a question and Angela had caught up. And I was like, oh my god, Angela has a chance to win this. And unfortunately, Angela, while she was closer in the tiebreaker, she sadly overshot her answer by like I want to say like 2000 seconds or something like that. And Chelsea, who had a much lower answer, to Doug's chagrin, unfortunately, um, became the head household for the double. And immediately, for me, my wind was sucked out of my sails. I was like, "Oh no! Like this could be good because Chelsea, yes, is the power player, but Chelsea has very much shown that she will only make the move that is safest for her game. She's never gonna make a gigantic move to out the person that she really needs to get out. She's going to use someone else's head of household to do that. So Chelsea basically nominates Angela and Chemo immediately, and we head into the veto. Um, Prior to the veto competition, though, y'all, did y'all have fears for Mother Angela here? Did we think there was possibility that she could be planning for a backdoor? Because if we remember, there was a conversation on the live feeds prior to this double eviction night where Cam and Chelsea decided that they want to work with Rubina and Chemo because representation. And we would love to have a final four that was just representative or the representative of, you know, the greater America. Did we think MJ could possibly be backdoored here? Or was Chelsea just going to do the thing to get rid of Angela and ruin the whole season?
I was hoping that that Chelsea especially would see that, hey, my biggest challenge threat is MJ. That she would backdoor MJ and have a basically an easy way to the end there.
I mean, I had no faith that Chelsea was ever going to do anything to MJ because Chelsea, though she is playing a decent game, uh, I want to say just decent. I don't want to take away from her, but at the same time, when we've seen what this cast has been doing, it's hard to say anyone's been playing like a great game, because it's like, congratulations, you manipulated people who don't have brain cells. Maybe I don't know. I was like, is there like a lack? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like
No,
in
it's
my
like
opinion, it's
Boston
like,
Rob on like Redemption Island, where people are like, "Well, Boston Rob played well, but look who he was playing against," kind of thing. Like if we're
right,
grading on a
like it's
curve, yeah, Chelsea is the best player, but is she a best player on like the grand scheme of like is it because of things she's doing actively or it's because everybody else just sucks? Like this is
well, I
this is
mean,
the greatest example of that because I don't think Chelsea is terrible. I think you're right. I don't think Chelsea's terrible, but I don't think she's amazing. And I think the fact she's
no,
playing with
like
these
yeah.
people makes it a lot easier for her.
Especially
So
with
I
how,
agree
like,
with
I
you.
feel like the only people in the house that were willing to really switch things up and get maybe a little crazy were pretty much like gone in the first couple weeks. Like, maybe Cedric would have been willing to. I'm not so sure. Maybe Brooklyn, assuming that they weren't in alliance together. So like two people that she was in alliance with. then Quinn, who she was kind of in alliance with, in a way. It almost felt like it was just a faux alliance, though. But that's just because every alliance Quinn was in felt faux. But the only other person was like Tucker, and I'm like, so that's not happening. Like because he's gone. So it just feels like there's no one here that's even gonna like actually think about it and do anything with it. Like some of these people will think about what's being said, about what's happening, and then be like, you know what? I need to use my powers of deduction and figure this out and like realize who's a threat. And that's not what's happening here in the slightest. And
It's like they know
so
what to do. Like they voiced a lot of times people voiced what they need to do, but they won't
right.
follow their gut. And it's like your gut tells you something for a reason a lot of times in these games. And if you're feeling it, what I've learned is that your gut instinct is always going to be the correct move. Like you could overthink
Like
it as much as you want to, but like if you're getting gut instincts that people just instinctively are not on your side or that they're not going to work with you, get them out. Just act on that
I
instinct
mean, look at
and get them
Leah. She said the same thing. She said I should have trusted my gut last week, and then she goes home
out.
because
No,
she didn't.
your gut
And
tells you
this is
something for
my
a reason. That's the biggest thing I've learned playing these kind of games is that if your gut tells you something, trust it because it's going to ultimately lead you in a direction that's better for your game than you sitting there analyzing something, overthinking it, having other people tell you things and influence your decision
hmm
when you know deep down what you think is right. So it's like you need to go with that. And I think this season 1,000% is showing you that you need to make decisions that are good instinctively for you and not overthink things so much. Like,
Well, and I think another big
simple.
part of that, yeah, I think another big part of that though was straight up that like Chelsea is constantly getting people to do her work for her, and people are afraid to make a move that would more so benefit them. They're like, oh, I'm afraid to go against that power structure of like MJ, Chelsea, and Cam, and I'm like, what power structure though really
hmm
exists if you take away like one of its main components? Everyone called T Core the leader of Chemo and Rubina. That was a three. Everyone called Chelsea the leader of her three kind of thing, and then it was essentially going to be like Leah and Angela in the two kind of position there. And what's so weird to me is that I don't trust Chelsea in the slightest. Like Chelsea from day one, I told you all that like Chelsea doesn't give me like you can trust her energy in the slightest. Like let's be real. Chelsea has weaponized, and I'm not faulting her for this. I'm not faulting for this. Let me start with that. Chelsea has weaponized both her religion and her identity in this game to help her go further. And that is totally fine. This is a game for $750,000. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I truly don't. I think what is wrong is when you don't accept and take credit for the move that you made there, right? Like, I think for me as a juror, if I was a juror in this situation, and let's say Chelsea's at the end, I need Chelsea to really play to me and say, yes, I did do that. Yes, I did like get people to trust me because we had similar faith and that we had a lot of bonds that we created through our identities and through like experiences we've had together through our faith or our identity. And they were willing to like really use that to like fully trust me regardless of if everything was right or best for them. I was able to plant those seeds. They felt like I was always having their best interest in, and I always found a way to manipulate the situation because Chelsea is a manipulator. Like at any stage or point of this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take Dan Giesling, like one of the greatest of all time players. He literally told us all in the beginning of it. He's like, "Yeah, I like teach at like it was like a Christian or Catholic school or something." But he's like, "I told everyone straight up that like I'm gonna be doing some things that like definitely are not within that like realm of what should be done. But this is a game, like." And he's like, I'll ask for forgiveness afterwards. So I need Chelsea to accept these things, but I also need people to realize what she's doing. Like somehow people just think that they think that Chelsea's like a great player and that she's like controlling a lot, but then they're also like, but she's like a good person, but I also see her being shady and we should go after her, but then they never do. So like I'm confused as to what the difficult decision is here. So like for me, Chelsea's like a great player, but I feel like it's very easy for anyone to see like through her. Even without the like view of the cameras, I just felt like from day one I did not trust her, and it was the nonprofit thing. It was 100% the nonprofit thing. I'll straight up.
My
It
biggest
was.
thing
It
with
was.
her is the fact that, like, especially for people outside of the Pentagon, where it's like, that there are five people
Hmm.
that are openly scheming, have made an alliance against you. And for whatever reason, after I'd say the Tucker's head household were Brooklyn left. It's like everybody got
Yeah.
amnesia and completely forgot that Quinn and Chelsea and Cedric, or not Cedric, Cam, were scheming on everybody. And it's like, how is this not a priority in your mind? Like, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, it's always the easiest thing to do if anybody outside of that group, just openly target them. Like, I don't understand why, especially the week following, that T-Core didn't just throw up all three of them. Like, she had such a great opportunity to just do that, but I mean, she had a working relationship with Chelsea. She did her thing, and that she ended up where she ended up. But I don't know what I'm talking about at all whatsoever. Whatever. Decor. Anyway, Doug, what do you think here about all this here situation with Chelsea? Do you think there's a situation here where Chelsea gets exposed, or is Chelsea basically on the free ride to the end?
I feel like if Chemo or Rubina can, whoever survives this can win the HOH next time somehow, I think they could expose Chelsea here and maybe like put Chelsea up there and show Cam and MJ like, hey, y'all need to take her out. that she's a comp piece. Maybe that they can talk some sense to them, saying, hey, she's gonna beat y'all. I don't know if it'll work because these people are they left all their brain cells at home when they decided to go to Big Brother. Don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like this kind of happens in the end game, where especially you get rid of a lot of the greater players of the cast, or at least the more players that had better potential in a lot of ways. You're kind of end up with a lot of people, unfortunately, that are just and then probably like one, possibly two players that are, of, some sort of really somewhat good strategic worth here. So I was hoping. I was still hoping. I was still hopeful that maybe my big brother curse has been lifted, but unfortunately, Double Eviction Night just, decided to just put the nail in the coffin here, because not only was Angela in the tiebreaker for the head of household this double eviction, but she was also literally, like, what, one point away in the veto from possibly winning it. Oh, but instead, my all my wishes all these weeks for my draft team to finally just, finally pull it together, it came at the wrong time, because chemo finally won an actual challenge in the competition, securing this veto. And I was actually very surprised here that Chemo ended up winning this challenge. I was not expecting it. I don't think any of us were expecting it for Chemo to finally do something in this game. But he did it. Let's go, Chemo. But sadly, when we learn in the commercial break here is the following: when Chemo takes Chelsea into the room, Chemo's like, well, what's going to happen with the veto? And Chelsea basically lays it out for us and ruins the whole entirety of the episode by saying it doesn't matter what you do with it, even if Rubina goes up. We're all together to evict Angelo, right? I was immediately like, fuck these people. Fuck all of them. I hate them. I hate all of you! And sadly, that's exactly what happens. Chemo uses the veto on himself. Rubina goes up, and they all evict Angela for the second unanimous vote of the episode. And
Of the
I mean,
season.
I know it was the episode, well, of the season two, but of the episode
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
But um, I, I, uh, I, I, I can't talk. I feel like Leah right now trying to give her eviction speech. I'm so choked up right now. Can somebody else talk here? Doug, the person who didn't choose Angela for your team. Do we have any final words here for Angela's eulogy in loving memory of Angela
I was
and everything
hoping
she's given us?
that somehow that MJ would get backdoored because that would have been the smartest play, but no one knows what a smart play even is. Even if it hit them right in the face, they would probably throw it in the trash or eat it like Angela's charcuterie board.
The coochie board. I feel like
Board.
my coochie board just got eaten this moment. I don't know what to do with my life.
And Chelsea just ate all of our coochie boards.
Chelsea, you're the
No,
worst.
stop.
How dare you, Chelsea, eating our coochies. Boards, sorry. Um,
No, can we just talk about it for a second? Something offline of Big Brother, like it's still Big Brother related, but after Angela got evicted, Miss Nasty, aka Miss Brooklyn, decided to make a video of her and her family eating the charcuterie board, and like they're watching her get evicted, and they make a parody of what happened, and they put a blonde wig on their dog
all I'm
Oh,
gonna
for
say
Angela.
here, Brooklyn, is you're watching it from home while Angela's still in the house. Mm.
maybe this will be a battle pack. We don't know.
There's no battle back.
There's no battle
Let's
back.
be honest.
It's
No.
very curious, though. We did get that tweet, though, where it was like Ansley's taking the jurors out of the house, so we still don't know what's happening here. I mean, like it's. I mean,
No, that was
the season
confirmed.
ends in like what, like in 2 weeks. So there's no way. There's no way. I'm pretty sure
That
there's no
was
Especially
way
as
somebody comes back.
they've been
that was
sitting on the edge of
Ainsley who said
extinction.
that. It was like just Ainsley saying it to make them think that some shit was going down.
That makes
Like,
sense.
yeah,
Ansley, you evil! How dare you?
and here's what I'm really questioning about this Chelsea move about like getting rid of Angela. I do agree that Angela probably would have gone after Chelsea. Um, but I wonder, is MJ going to potentially backdoor Chelsea this week? Like, is anyone going to talk any sense into MJ? It doesn't seem like it right now, but like,
Way to just jump
is
forward
Chelsea
with
going to end?
spoilers right now,
It
Jack.
Oh,
it
sorry. I mean,
Wow. It's
wow, how dare you,
literally
Jack?
3 days after the eviction episode. There's literally so much out there, and here you are spoiling our listeners on what's happening next while we're trying to put Angela to rest, Jack.
well, I'm just saying it was
How
about Angela.
Okay,
how dare
wait
you
5 minutes
stomp
and then
all
we'll talk
over
about this,
Angela's
okay?
Okay,
How
grave?
dare you
fine.
eat Angela's charcuterie board?
Let me go put some flowers on Angela real quick. Okay,
Okay,
so
please do.
with
Put it, put,
Angela,
yeah, put Angela to rest, please.
it's sad because we finally we see I think our final wild card really leave the game. I think Angela was the last person that wasn't going to do something completely predictable, had the chance of really making an actual power move in this game had she ever been allowed to get HOH again. And you know, as one of the three women this season, I believe so far, who have won a veto and an HOH, which hadn't been done since in the same season since what was it, Big Brother 23, I believe. It was a really great season for her. And in part of the eulogy, I will say it's possible we see more of Angela later because she did mention in her interview that she would love to do Survivor, and rumors say that she is at the top of the list as the number one most wanted house guest from Big Brother on Trader Season 4.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
So
Angela will be on the challenge. Angela will be on the
okay, that's what I thought.
Traders. Angela
That's a
will
good
be
one.
on uh, America's Got Talent. Angela will be on Judge Judy. Angela will
Oh my
be
god.
on the morning news.
Can you
Angela will
imagine?
be on uh, the election night. She's going to be everywhere. Okay.
Can you imagine Angela versus Laurel?
Oh, Angela
And
wins without a doubt.
Yeah.
Angela
Angela
wins.
versus the
I would
world
live to see
drag
that fight.
race.
I would live to see that
Oh my
fight.
god, Angela on RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, she's gonna be on RuPaul's Drag Race All Star. She's gonna be everywhere.
Angela
Everywhere.
versus the world, baby.
Global All
And
Stars 2.
Angela, can we please Angela versus the world? It needs to happen immediately. Oh my
And as we
god.
joke tonight, the eight of us who are competing all against Angela have decided to get rid of one of ourselves.
Like,
Like,
like
oh.
We have had some amazing, like, some, like, just some viral people this year, right? Like, we've had, like, Plain Jane, we've had Q, we've had, God, so many people this year, right? How is Angela literally just, this is literally the summer of Angela, as far as I'm concerned here. Like, I feel like Angela has just put a cherry on the top of what has been an unhinged year in reality TV to the point where I'm just like, whoever found, whoever decided to cast her, like, thank you so much. Like, I don't watch Dr. Phil on the regular. I never would have seen Angela beforehand before this, but thank you for bringing her into our lives. We appreciate you. And Angela, we thank you for all of the memes that we have for years and years to come, which we will be using for sure. Oh, I don't want to see her go, y'all. I don't want to see her go. I can't. Just like Janky
Right.
dying at the beginning of this week and Ansley calling the apocalypse was clearly for a reason because they knew that Angela was going to be leaving here. And I feel like we're living in the apocalypse at this moment, um, unfortunately. But I guess Jack kind of already jumped into the final portion of our podcast here. But in case you're wondering here, in case you yeah in case you haven't been spoiled up to this point, in case you weren't listening fully here, there will now be spoilers for this week, our final 5 week moving forward here. As sadly, Painless's draft team continues to survive somehow, as MJ has one head of household, and in the most predictable fashion has chosen to nominate Chemo and Rabina for eviction. Do we think there's a possibility at all for anything of interest to happen this week? Or is the writing kind of on the wall here that I would think between Chemo and Rubino would probably be evicted here. Um, does it feel like this, or do we see the tides changing here, possibly for a Chelsea backdoor?
I think because we don't know about the veto yet, right?
Right.
Nope. Don't know.
So if Chemo or Rubina win the veto, then that means MJ has to choose between either Chelsea or Cam to put up. And I feel like she might be making a personal decision and put up Chelsea because I don't think she may want to give up Cam that early.
I don't know. They were in the tub together drinking wine. Anything could happen.
And
Which they were doing footsie underneath the table that Big Brother was like, y'all see this?
maybe Kibo or Urbina could tell MJ how pissed that Chelsea was at her cuddling Cam.
I
Uh,
don't know. I don't know. Mackenzie's
I
very like up Chelsea's butt at this moment. Just like I don't know if she's seen the light of day anymore.
it is very much giving the same energy as last year's Final Five, where we just have this unbreakable three, even though it makes no sense to keep them to help yourself. Like, it doesn't help you to keep these people in the house. Like, I don't understand. From a gameplay aspect, last year it also made no sense to me. This year it'll probably make no sense to me. I don't know why you would keep someone in the house that you think could actually beat you at the end, especially now because if I'm Mackenzie and I get to, if let's say if Cam, Mackenzie, Rubina, or Chemo win the veto, so basically Chelsea doesn't win the veto, it's a possible backdoor scenario. Even if Chelsea won it, possible backdoor scenario just to get rid of Cam, you could make that as the pitch because you could you could expose that Cam has the final three with Rubina and Chemo. You could go back to that whole we want only three women at the end. If they really want to believe that, then they could make it Cam versus Chemo and decide who they think they should get rid of then. There's plenty of scenarios that could happen, but the likelihood is so low, and I don't think people are seeing anything. Like, everyone has their blinders on. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we could say these people were like the most strategically apt people. So it feels like very easy gameplay where it's like, oh, I have a three. Let's just write it to finale night, and then we'll kind of decide what happens when whoever wins. But I'm also like, I'm of the mindset that I'm like, I'm planning ahead of that for that to happen, and it
Mhm.
feels like it's a very easy situation here where she could pick off Chelsea just to make things easier for her to actually give her the to kind of right the wrongs of last week per se. I mean, she has in a lot of ways a lot of um an advantage here being the fact that she had a whole week to be her HOH last week. She only was out of power for an hour, and now she's back into power. You know, like she has a lot of power to use what happened last week to kind of form things and really, make her shape her endgame if she wants to. I don't think Mackenzie's gonna do it. I don't believe it. I would just be honest as well too. I don't know if I really care for her to do it either, as well. Because I'm just like, at this point, like, if you haven't done it, it's the final five, and even if you do it at the final five, I'm like, do I really respect someone that's playing the game in the last 2 weeks versus someone that's been playing the game the entire time? Not really. So at this point, I'm kind of just I'm all on board, kind of with Chelsea winning. I mean, at this point, she'd probably be the person that deserves it the most. So I just wanted to see her just win it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if I would really be. I would be, I guess, happy with a Chemo Rubina win. Like I like them the most out of these three, but are they going to be memorable winners at the end of the day? No. So like it's just very like I'm kind of out of this final five. Yeah, now that Leah and Angela are gone, I'm just kind of like whatever. Like whatever happens happens. I mean, I've kind of been like that for a hot minute since Tucker was gone, but I was always still Team Angela, obviously. But like, yeah, I'm very much so just kind of just like whatever happens happens. If these people continue to keep playing stupid, is what it is. But all that would mean for me is that my Chelsea prediction in my uh, midseason video here was right, and I'll take it because it was probably one of the easiest predictions I could have made here.
I mean,
um, yeah, I'm not. That's not saying much, right?
yeah, but I mean, there's like if Mackenzie were to get rid of Chelsea, let's say, at that point she's the winner, she's the front runner, right? Because no one else has made a move.
Not
Like,
necessarily because she's still made terrible moves up to this point, to the point where I think she still has to answer to Leah and to Quinn and uh Angela even as well too, like why she made the moves that she did that targeted them when they weren't coming for her for no reason. So I don't know. I don't. It would in a lot of ways put her as the front runner, but it would also still kind of I think raise a lot of questions as far as her strategic decisions. Like I think she's already kind of in her bed at this point. She's going to have to answer those
mm,
questions, and a lot of Mackenzie's game will probably ride on who she's sitting in the final two with and how she answers those questions. If she's sitting with Cam, yeah, if she's sitting with Cam or Chelsea, I don't think she wins. I think that Cam can still talk his way out of it, even though he's never spoken before anyway. Um,
well,
Chemo
that would mean she could
Rubina,
lose.
I think she could still lose to Chemo or Rubina too, because Chemo or Rubina still have a lot of friends on this jury too. So I don't know. I don't really see a road for Mackenzie to get to the end, but in 2 weeks here, on October 13th, we're on finale night. Watch us watch me sitting here crowning Mackenzie to be the winner and
Don't you put that
famous
out
win
to the world.
another fucking draft. I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. You know why I'm putting it out there? Because usually when I put things out there, it never happens. So. Oh no, now it's gonna happen. We'll just edit that part out. No worries. Um, well, y'all. Yeah, I figured this was gonna be kind of a quick one here for the most part because I mean, Endgame and Big Brother seems like it's pretty cut and dry for the most part here. But do we have any final words here as we head to the final five? Doug, I want to give you the floor here first.
I just, I really hope that somehow Chemo or Rubina can win the veto or maybe somehow even Cam, and they can convince Cam to use the veto. Because if that happens, ooh boy, I would love to see Chelsea go here. That is the big hopes and dreams, but it's unlikely that I would love to see Kimo or Urbina win it, but I think this is Chelsea's to lose right now.
That is the big question. Will Chelsea go home? Will she leave? Because this feels like the last chance for them to do it. Jack, any final thoughts here as we head into the final five?
Although there is an uphill battle for her, I think that I'm going to use the power of my other house guest pick from earlier this season, and I'm going to manifest. Wait for it, ladies. I'm going to manifest Rubina wins the veto and Rubina wins the next HOH. Yes, yes, yes. We will get another woman to break the the curse to get a veto and an HOH in the same season. And we will see the rise of our lovable, adorable princess of the house who will maybe go on to slay one of the biggest targets in the house. I don't know. I'm still rooting for that. I hope it every day. And I'm manifesting that right now. So let's go for it. So thank you, Lisa, for letting me manifest.
You're beautiful, you're a goddess, and you're clearly delusional, and you won't let things go, Jack. And it's okay.
I'm
It's
throwing the
fine.
glitter on
It's
your
fine.
food right
That's
now as we
better
talk.
than me putting out there that Mackenzie's gonna win. So, I would gladly live in your reality than mine. But honestly, I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if there's any winner here that we're gonna be like, "Ooh, wow, yay! I'm so excited to have you here." But
Just playing the long
it's
game. She's playing a
yeah.
very, very floater-esque game just to, be covered up.
She's like, let me just wait till the last minute. Let me wait till day 90 here. I'm gonna make my move. It's like okay.
I'll have you know it'll probably be either late 70s or early 80s.
I
There,
mean, we on day like 78 right now or something like that. So she got much time left. There's literally less than 20 days in this house here. So
I mean, Emo won a veto,
thank
so
God.
anything is possible. The only issue is we know it's the comics veto, so I'm like, who has a really good chance of this is
Cam, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie and
MJ.
Chelsea. Like all of them are
Hmm.
generally more athletic, and Chemo said that he's worried for that one because he doesn't know if he can take it physically.
Yeah, I don't think
So,
Chemo or Rubina are winning this veto, honestly. I think it's very clearly Cam or Chelsea or Mackenzie
or
that are winning this veto. So, you know, um, eh, either way,
maybe they'll
it's
be bad at attention to detail. Maybe Rubina's got that on her side. Who knows?
maybe Rubina just like has a photographic memory and she could just see the image once and just plug in everything from just one ride over thing. She's gonna set a record, just like Otev with happened in one round.
Hmm.
She's gonna set a
Hmm.
record by being the first person to do BB comics in just one glide over the wall. Love it. Done. Ah, we are so delusional here, aren't we? We're trying. We're trying. We really
We're
want to.
hoping. We're
We,
praying faster than Chelsea for that
uh,
win.
I mean, Big Brother has a habit of just ever since June Song won Big Brother 4, they're like, you know what, Renegade, you're not allowed to have any happiness ever on a Big Brother season ever again. And ever since that moment, it's just been, disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And sadly, I mean, I can't get any more disappointed than I am now that Angela's gone. So, as far as I'm concerned, this Final Five is what it is, but still, it's been a fantastic season here. And to say anything else here would be, saying less here. So, I still am excited for how things will turn out Now, obviously, the first section of this podcast was recorded following the double eviction, where there still was a little hope that we weren't just going to get a predictable March to finale night. And I'll be honest, I've been a bit overwhelmed with the amount of content I've been trying to produce lately, so I may have taken a step back, but really, did we miss anything important that we didn't expect to see happen in our predictions here? This game really has been over since double eviction, as the decision to keep the trio of Cam, Chelsea, and MJ together ultimately proved detrimental to the rest of the cast due to a combination of Chelsea's strategic superiority and MJ's competition beast status, which continued to plague the endgame. And although MJ was in striking position twice to make a move that would better her endgame chances, she decides instead to nominate Chemo and Rubina at the final five, and her power of veto win seals Chemo's fate. While Rubina would leave quickly afterwards, after a combination of Chelsea's head household win and MJ's final veto win, which would lead to Chelsea leading MJ astray once again of her dream goal of having the first all women final three in Big Brother history, which newsflash MJ, you are about 20 seasons late in making that happen, so girl. This is to nothing but get her very roasted deservedly for her strategic game because like what strategic game? So, heading into our final three, we have part one of the final head of household, which Chelsea wins, securing her place in the finale, which all seems but guarantee her win at this point, right? While MJ has won part two, it feels like this should likely secure these women to make some sort of deal to take each other to the end, which on Chelsea's end doesn't really matter what she does because I think she's done an amazing job at leading MJ on this entire time. The only alternative here is MJ winning the final head of household, seeing the light and cutting Chelsea, and likely winning for making the move finally. But oh my god, is that just a completely horrible ending to this game? Especially after last season, where Jag basically just comp won his way to the end after not taking into account the social or strategic game. For MJ to do it again here and just kind of luck her way into a win just for being good at comps and having no one else to really evict here other but Chelsea, I don't think I would enjoy that ending. But will it happen? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like MJ's whole game at this point has just been leading up to this moment. And why do I just feel like she's going to cut Cam and take Chelsea to the end? Because, her and Chelsea deserve it the most. Speaking of Cam, I don't really see a way he wins here. That's all really I have to say about him. He's been kind of such a non entity this entire time, which is just so sad because he seems like such a nice guy, but I just don't see a way Cam possibly wins here, unless for whatever reason the move that MJ makes against Chelsea backfires and somehow the entire jury is backing Cam. I don't know. I can't possibly see a way that Cam wins here, but that's all I really have to say about him because honestly, this season has really been about Chelsea's story from start to finish. And we've really got to see her go from in power with the collective to being singled out for being part of the Pentagon, to managing to socially and strategically work the numbers back in her favor. Chelsea against Cam or Chelsea against MJ in the final vote will most definitely lead to an overwhelming majority in Chelsea's favor here. With maybe Cam picking up a vote from Angela or Rubina, and maybe MJ getting a vote from Angela or Leah, but I just don't see a world where Quinn, T-Core, and by extension Chemo, and whoever's evicted out of Cam or MJ don't vote for Chelsea to win here. And it would be much deserved in my ideal outcome out of these three, because let's be real, this game, the season has been top tier excitement, but the gameplay has been bottom tier trash. So hopefully the one player who has played an amazing game this season in Chelsea actually secures the win. The alternative, which I don't even want to speak to existence here, but we have to talk about, where again MJ makes that last minute move to blindside Chelsea, resulting her becoming the next Vanessa Russo. I don't want that for the season, mostly because I don't respect Cam's lack of true agency or MJ's complete ineptitude when it comes to setting herself up in a positive strategic position. They're no Steve whatsoever at all. So, could we be in store for a shocking ending on finale night? Of course we could be, but I really don't hope so, and I really don't think so. I'm about like 75%, 80, 85, 90% sure at this point that I think that it's even if it is a Chelsea MJ final two, Chelsea sweeps this jury. I'm kind of actually a little more intrigued in who's going to get America's favorite player between Angela and Chuck, to be honest here. The winner definitely won't make or break the season ultimately, but I definitely think it could help in cementing the legacy of one of the most dominant strategic house guests in Big Brother history. even if she was up against some complete morons. But we'll see you on Sunday night when the finale finally happens. But until next time, y'all, and on behalf of my co-casters Doug and Jack, I'm Renegade signing out. But as always, keep spilling that tea, y'all. Bye.